struggling friends, my friends nonetheless. Yes, death and destruction. Death, 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 near death. Fine, fine, okay. Near death, death, hanging in there. Death, death, death. They're okay. Struggling a bit. Nutrient deficient at this point. Was to begin with anyway, but it's even worse now. For future tomatoes and cucumbers, possibly. Well, I'm guessing so. And over here as well, let's move it up. And then maybe some things up on the top here. And down here. These are tamande, or tamande, maybe tamande because it's French. And they're finers. Got a problem with the other one, so I don't know what some of these are over here. I wouldn't mind if they were about the same habit, but one of them is Moneymaker, which is a vining tomato. The other one is some sort of determinants, so it's a bit confusing. But I was thinking of trying to plant them out proper tomorrow. Lack of space though. You see, I've set some of them out, where I think they might be okay to go. They're supposed to be determinate and they're looking like vines, they're so tall. It's kind of legginess as well, maybe, but it's not like they haven't been getting sun. This one toppling over. But you can always plant up to there, or even remove that and plant up further, and put out new roots, as most people are probably aware. There's some peas from my poking for peas video, the emergency sowing, and some of them have come up. Some's better than none. Random radish, random mustard and coriander. They're all volunteers from last year. That lettuce and those peas aren't. And there's a net that's not doing much a job. Carrots and a chrysanthemum. They're just there because they are struggling inside that greenhouse. Those osteospermum. What do you think? Okay. I'm planting that sunflower there, it's struggling. I'll be alright. Orca, chives, sage, coneflower. Nice. The fellow that's been struggling with aphids. Look, it's also there. Squish, 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 squish. Die. Look at that little bastard. I mean, that little guy. Sage looking nice. Anyway, I was looking at this here. I thought this was a dahlia coming up from, I don't know when, because last year I planted one there and it came up fine. I think it was there or here. Maybe it's the same one actually. I think last year I put two down and only one came up. I put this bottle over it today. I only saw this today. Like I'm not, I think, like what the heck else would it be, right? Anybody know? Hey, Buzz Martin, what's up? How are you? say protection racket for the aphids. The aphids secrete a little honeydew substance, and the ants kind of collect it and consume it, and in return they kind of defend the aphids from attack. But anyway, back to this aphid, or back to this second dahlia. Aphid on the brain. I think it's a dahlia. Anyway, what else would it be? Because I don't know. Like there's no other bulbs over here. There's some pansies though. Hey. You want some too? How about you? Boop. No. Boop. Boop. Alright, I'll put them in there, so. Oh, one of them anyway. Oh, look at that, dry as a bone. There's something in there probably already. We dig it up and it's some creature living in there. Who knows? We shall see. We shall. Spuds in the hood. Strawberries. Dead rhubarb. That's not dead. It looks perfectly healthy to me. Not to me, it doesn't. Because when I cut that, make a bit of compote out of it and have it with some yogurt, maybe a bit of a spice of some sort in there, then I'll be left with this, and this. And you'll notice the last bit of new growth was here, and that's no more. So what's going to happen then? Well, it's probably going to be outcompeted with these strawberries, and then volunteer sunflower and a volunteer mustard, and then over here a volunteer sunflower and a volunteer mustard. They just grow together for some reason. And there's dill, volunteer again. So, anyway, watering can. Copyright infringement. Dahlias. Decorative. Oh, so I can't eat them. Damn. I thought they could eat dahlias. Ooh. They're essentially like onions. No? Silly me. Where's Martin? Where's Martin? He's in the building. Can you see me behind the parsley? I camouflaged, don't I? Let's stop messing you. There'll be no messing. There shall be no messing on this stream. We're getting things done. That's what we're doing. We're doers. We're not messers. We're doers. Nobody's watching. How dare you? How dare you? How dare you? Oh yeah. I better actually cover that, because you know what I'll end up doing? Standing on it. We need to find out if it is actually a dahlia or not. That'd be a good idea, wouldn't it? Some heat out at some there now. It's some heat there now. Like that. I can assure you. Likes you. I'll be back with a shovel and some shite. Shite. Shovel. I just got manure there. And Dahlias are supposed to go down into a hole that's about a foot deep, but the soil is like a disaster. So see how far we can get. Some sort of maggot just popped out of a hole. Do you want to see the maggot? Maggot incoming. Jeepers. We hold up, Jeff. Well, gross. I don't know what that is, but could be good, could be bad. That glass though, that's not good. Is that glass? Oh my god, it looks like a whole bottle. What is going on here? I wonder if there's a message in it. Check off. No, it's not a bottle. It's just a piece. But still. Come on, that. Come here. See how dry it is. That's okay. We've got manure. maybe one there I think would be nice. If that's what that is, I assume it is. It'd be nice to have two in the rear there as well. They actually don't get much sun here and they generally flower quite late. So planting them quite late is a bit risky. They normally get kind of one bloom and that's it. They kind of start fading away then as it gets colder. But here we are. Two in question. Looks like more, doesn't it? Oh, sorry. It's like a whole bunch of tubers or something. Just one. We shall see. One here and there. I'm not worried about those. They were here long before I got here. And they pop up everywhere, all over the place no matter what. So I kind of just treat them, and take out what I don't want and leave what might be nice. Crocosmia, I believe. Sorry. My brain's fried at this sun. Three in here. It's supposed to be two. Interesting. third one. And nowhere to put it. I wonder, what would you do? Look around. What to do, what to do. Smell some mint, so loud. The inspirational smell of mint. Take it on my nose, that's all it's doing. Find somewhere to put it on. Where I don't know. They're in there. And I'm gonna give them some water. Well, actually, a bit more manure over the top there. Gentle, gentle. Drop of water. Ladies, osteospermum. Nice try, sir. Just okay. something. 3-inch pots maybe, for now. As you see, they're struggling. But even the ones in 3-inch pots are struggling. Some are even dying. This is the wall of death over there in the corner, except for those turnips. The only turnips in the garden happen to be there, of all places. I don't know, scallions. Like annual flowers, they're mostly calendula, as far as I can make out. And I don't know, who knows what else. Struggle, it's all a struggle. Anyway, clear this off of there. I've been wondering, I might plant these marigolds out with the tomatoes, or at the same time, and kind of with them as well, literally, but maybe not all with them. The few that came up, or the few that germinated. Yeah, weeds, and with the scallions, more fucking scallions. Lemon balm, going through the breeding wars. Needs fresh compost. Needs to be planted somewhere, really. Same thing's going to happen to that happened with the lavender. Like, oh, I need to do something with that. Need to do something with that. The lavender survived the winter. Fucking the greenhouse crashing over upside down, soaked, fucking frozen, all sorts of things. And it survived. It was looking nice and healthy in the spring, and then the other day I looked at it. I was like, oh, it's time to divide it and like put it in separate. And that's it now. Hopefully all is not lost. This one is looking a little bit better, but compared to what they were only a week and a half ago, they were lush and lovely and they were ready to go. It goes to show you, don't hesitate. Ready? It's not. Oh, nice. Great little things work out like that. It's like, oh, it's like, yes. Nice. All the crap moved out of the way. So, my makeshift table, my makeshift seat. True. There's plenty of failure ahead. There will be failure ahead. The shop, like this grocery store, parsley. Formerly refining tomato, apparently. Wish I'd done that with me labeling this year. But I did that last year, I still messed it up anyway, as always. That needs to be planted out. I'm waiting for that one. Got the seed. Doesn't seem to really got the seed. It's flowering alright. Not really going to seed. Plenty of like secondary leaf growth on it as well. But and I don't mind them on the flower because the flowers are edible and very pretty. Am I wrong? Hell no. No. Anyway. Look. It's future you. Look. cousin. You can go up there on the wall of death. Don't worry, I won't let you die. You're almost dead when I bought you. Literally, like, no pot, just in a bag. Fading away. But I want to be snappy, but I cut it back again, maybe. At least trim the top and trim all that dead stuff. It's dry as a bone. Anyway, we're not here to be criticizing the poor old parsley. No. Oh no. You know, a few big ones. Should have just put the bigger ones directly into bigger ones. Bigger ones into bigger ones. What is he talking about? I put the bigger basil seedlings into bigger pots and the smaller ones into 3-inch pots. Because I've fucking loads of them now after I've potted on all the tomatoes and cucumbers. Look. See? And there's more. Well, that's plenty to be going on, right? I think so. I have a few pots in here, half filled already, and I think they're dry as a bone. I really need to figure out what the hell they are. They're money makers or some sort of determinant. It's driving me wild, man. One of them was called Golden Nugget, another couple of them were called Black Zebra or Black Zebra, whatever you're having yourself. And the vining ones were a money maker. I can't look at these as if they were the money maker. But I'm not 100% sure of that. Anyway, I have to get these into consideration. So, how do you tell a determinate from an indeterminate tomato when they're at that stage? You just can't really, can you? There's no way of knowing really. I've noticed in like even these ones, even the ones over there, they're really spindly and tall as if they're vining tomatoes, but they're actually determinate bush tomatoes. Unless the Amazon sent me the wrong ones, which is very likely. I mean, they lost the other ones in transit apparently, so like my hopes aren't terribly high. The money makers, whichever one they are, the seeds have been with me for like 8 years or something, and every year they're growing like crazy, so the yield isn't necessarily, it can be, it varies, you know, but in terms of germination and then their growth onward is normally pretty good. And there's cucumbers all sitting outside, trying to harden them off a little bit. Most of them be going into the greenhouse though. There's no space out here. I'll just probably end up just putting them in on top of fucking volunteer corianders or whatever happens to be going on. But we'll see. There's lots of, I don't know, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 cucumbers. It's pretty crazy. Sure money. Yeah, that matter. They're only mini ones as well, as far as I remember. I think so. That's all I ever intended to grow anyway, is the smaller ones. We're trying to like grow prize-winning cucumbers. I used to grow some whopper cabbages actually, but I've stopped doing that now. It's just I space them actually quite close because they're in deep beds, just for small heads, especially during the summer, for like coleslaws and kimchi's and that kind of crack. Stir fries. Anyway, I'm here to get these pots and I'm just going off on a tangent and waffling. I wish I knew what all these things in the corner of my screen meant. All these options. Maybe they could somehow enhance the experience for all of us. I don't know. What's this? idea what that is. However, I'm sitting here touching the things on the screen going, I wonder what that is. What's this yoke? Anyway, I'm here to put on Basil. I'll figure out what the live stream options, functions are. Yes. Where are Basil in question? Here they are. It's for me. Hello. The little babies. The little babies. The little babies. Come here to me. Come over. Bigger ones, I suppose. I don't know if there's any drainage material in here. Well, there is. Look, wherever. It's dry as a bone. Dry as a bone, I tell you. Come across there some more. That's good. That's much better. Add a bit of manure to the dry stuff. it's falling apart there. It's flexible. What are you talking about? Designed to be flexible. Oh, jeepers, a slug. You little bollocks. Away. Watching this stool break under me, so stay tuned for that. I'm using the power cable to try and keep my phone. Resources. Capodastro. Do you know what a capodastro is? A capodastro. We're gonna too long there. Nothing too good. Hey, greatness, grateful from Virginia. Hey, what's up? Thanks for watching. Thanks for commenting. And that's even more important. You went to the effort of typing out something, so I appreciate that. What are you growing? Do you have a channel here on YouTube? I must remember the name. Greatness, grateful. That's not difficult. Although, knowing me. Just one big one. Are you 30 bigger? What's 31? Biggest. I don't even know if that's a Basil. It is, yeah. Nice. They're hugging each other. They're gonna embracing Basil, or Basil, right? But do Americans pronounce the name Basil, like Basil Fawlty, for example? Do they pronounce the name Basil? Surely not. Then I don't know. We grow tomatoes, melons, cool. Onions, garlic. Oh, don't talk to me about onions and garlic. I have an update video coming about my alliums this year. Just disaster all around. Every year they give me grief. Some success with leeks and chows, but everything else is always something. Yeah. What else have you got? Strawberries. I've got a few of those, but you see the birds get them first. And eggplants. That's like aubergine, right? A small garden. I do not have a channel. Oh. Subscribe to mine, please. And give me some advice on onions, garlic, strawberries, and everything. I've been growing things for about 17 years. But I work full time and manage a chronic illness. So, it's not really top priority. It's just a lazy hobby. And it's close to home, so it's kind of not too stressful. So, do you grow melons and eggplants outdoors or indoors? Like undercover, or I guess in Virginia it's quite hot, right? But I imagine maybe the nights can get quite cold, right? That's my crazy wild imagination. Thank you so much. Really appreciate that. My editing abilities and my presentation abilities are seriously lacking. I kind of do vlogs in the form of videos a lot, if that makes sense. And if I'm not in the garden, I'm traipsing up and down the roads looking at wildflowers or filming feathered friends or whatever. The channel could go anywhere though. So I set it up when my illness came back after remission of a few years. Um, and things have been going pretty badly in the garden this year, so I thought it'd be a good time, instead of just highlighting a bunch of successes and highlighting a bunch of failures, would be certainly more instructive for anybody watching on, and maybe even more entertaining. I'm way behind on everything this year though, but as I said, it's not my priority, so health comes first. Yeah, it's some 3 inch pots, that is. Just convenient wood chip on the ground. That'll work as drainage. Right. So yeah, about the melons and eggplants, do you grow them outdoors or undercover like that? But I generally expect people to have something better than this kind of PVC type thing. I should have put that one in the bigger pot. I put a smaller one in there. Somebody done some woodwork. Somebody trying to escape from their wooden prison. I don't know if you hear that. You should be. Freedom. So damn fresh. I have a very high failure rate. I have a slope problem. Oh my goodness. I just turned over a pot there to put my phone on to record, and guess who was on the bottom of the pot? Slug. Yeah. I'm assuming you don't use those pellets. They're kind of nasty, I find. Especially in terms of secondary sort of poisoning for other wildlife, and just sort of breaking down into the environment. beer traps, no? I know it's like 101 stuff. Um, beer traps on sort of midnight hunts, that's what I go. I go on a midnight hunt for slugs. The torch with a little miner's hat. I've got a little container over there with some corpses in it right now. Some salty water. It's there as a warning to others. And yeah, beer traps. Have you tried beer traps? Or I don't drink anyway, so it's not like I've got a beer line around. I specifically need to go out and buy like one can of beer. The guy behind the counter is like, ooh, having a crazy night, are we? I say no. There will be some drunken, drowned slugs. So. Dear slug, I will get you drunk, and then I will drown you. I mean, really, they drown themselves. You're just putting the beer out because you like beer out in your garden. It's just a thing you like. And then they come along, they're like, nice beer. They climb on in there. And that's the end of them, pretty much. Natural remedies, tried. Palace, Williams works at Silent Yeah, beer traps. Definitely go with beer trap. Or little pieces of wood laying around. and what's surrounding your area, I wonder. And that's like there's so many slugs in the first place. I've got lots of spots for them to hide in, cracks and crevices and stuff. And snails too. But snails I'm not too worried about. I kind of like snails, so I kind of try and treat them fairly. And in my weird, messed up brain, I kind of think, I'm alright with the snail community, and they're alright with me, and they won't be too damaging. But the slugs, so they're a different story altogether. I guess it's just a prejudice. They don't have a fancy shell, nice colours and all. Maybe if they had that, I'd be more. But they just seem nastier, more damaging. I guess they're probably a little quicker as well. They're not carrying their house around on their back. Make it a dog kennel. Should I ask them if they want the loan of a circular saw? It might be a way to ingratiate myself with the neighbours. And then they cut their arm off and somehow I'm liable. I do have beer, but I thought it didn't work. Thanks for letting me know that it worked. Oh, those, yeah. We get, some sort of container or something. Maybe somewhere between the depth of that and that depth, and sort of partially bury it in the ground. So that's like the surface, and you're kind of partially burying it a little bit, so they have a little bit of room to come in after, and then they get in, and they drink up the beer and drunk and drown. They basically just drown. The idea that they're getting drunk is kind of fanciful, really, just to make it a little bit more. Oh, they're getting drunk, and it's kind of a fun way to die. Oh my god. Tell that to Matthew Perry. Well, you can't because he died, right? And it wasn't alcohol. Well, no, probably alcohol was involved. The most Irish statement you'll hear. Alcohol was involved. I'm not stating that Mr. Perry was Irish. But coming from my lips, my sweet, sweet Irish lips. Wait, I'm Irish and I don't drink? I know we exist, we're a rare breed. Outcasts, we are. Put them together and let them duke it out. Some fine finger work there, I'm sure you'd agree. What do I have in this title? Dahlias. I've done that except for the one extra that I didn't. There's supposed to be a pack of 2 and I got 3. So a few things out there, I better keep that safe and find a spot for it. I could have sworn I put something else in the title. It's a shame I can't look at the title of my own stream right now. But I can look at the battery, which is something I should do. 46%, that's not bad. Sometimes when I'm weeding, I got the slugs. Sometimes when I'm weeding, I'll kind of leave a little pile of weeds somewhere in the garden, kind of away from whatever is most susceptible to slugs. And I kind of normally well, specifically if it's just the leaves or weeds, I'll throw them all in a little pile. Leave them there for like a week, 2 weeks or whatever. And a lot of the slugs and things will be attracted to that. And that will kind of keep them focused on that because they're like slugs and snails and aphids and a whole lot of the pests, but particularly slugs and snails, I find, are more attracted to the weaker sort of plants, the ones that are not well, the ones that are already maybe a little bit weak or damaged, or if it's a healthy seedling that's been transplanted healthy, well, it's definitely gonna survive attack and be less prone to attack even. Small little cuts and bruises and that on leafy greens and that. I don't know whether they send out like an aroma or whatever, but definitely they're more susceptible. So I think like the healthier the plant from its inception, like from its beginning, the better it will cope. bear traps, the little pieces of wood laying around as well. Um, and I'm gonna come out and check them every day. Um, the little piles of weeds. But the bear traps are a big one. I don't use bear traps anymore. I don't have to. Um, I say that now, and tomorrow I'll be like overrun with slugs probably. But anyway, back to this one. This last one, look, it's the last one of the slightly bigger one. Anyway. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 pots, 2 of which have 2 in them. Yeah, I'm talking about the healthier the seedling, the less susceptible they are to attack from pests. And with these things hanging together. But, I might take half of each of those cells and put them into individual pots, let them do get out, and whatever survives, survives. Pinch out the weaker ones. We see how we go. Not to say that I've no issue with slugs and snails. Snails I try and just move to my compost bin. You can see even the roots smell like basil. Maybe it's my potting soil. It's store-bought. I'm making compost this year. Oh, I've got store-bought stuff right here, and I make compost. But the thing about making compost, or compost, as they say in the States, whatever, it's the same thing. Homemade, home-produced organic matter for enriching soil and growing plants. You can never have enough of it. You can never make enough of it. Certainly that's my issue. This year I thought, yeah, I have loads. I have so much. I'm going to be pretty good for, at least for dressing the beds and all my early seed sowing. And with the compost that I had, I dressed all of the tops of my beds, and then it was gone. So, like I was looking at it going, how did this happen? You just never make enough, and that's my issue. So this year I've made a couple of trips to the store to get some, buy some in, along with some manure too. And what kills me is I live quite close to farm land, farm with like horses, and particularly horse manure is the best. I don't imagine. Once it's broken down for 2 years. Yeah, well, here we are. You can never make enough of the homemade compost though. Unless you can. Unless you say, alright, okay, but then you need the material to actually to make it in the first place, you know. So. You can only produce so much, and then next thing you know, you're knocking on your neighbour's door asking for hedge clippings, and you're going out in the fall and picking up as many leaves as you can find. But making compost is great. I think I've got basically a compost playlist. My first on-screen video, I think, was compost and chat. Just essentially a kind of live stream-esque, but before I could go live. But I don't see how the pot and soil would be an issue, you know. Unless it's maybe not broken down enough or something, and it's attracting, you know, the creatures to finish the job, so to speak. But that's not something that I've ever heard, or certainly don't think I've experienced it anyway. But then it's not something I've ever considered. So I wonder, why would a certain type of pot and soil or compost or whatever be attracting flues? I don't, like, I'm only for, maybe it hasn't broken down enough, that's the only thing. There's still a bit of, like, you know, food in there for them, basically. No. Do you use any soil amendments or anything like that? Blood, fish and bone maybe, or anything like that? I know it attracts dogs, but maybe slugs too. Have a fight there. You see him not immediately watering these in. That should be okay. Or, I mean, look at them, they're dry as a bone, these ones there, and they're hanging in there. And it does some semi-fresh compost. It's can't help her. It's got a bit of moisture in there. Proper struggling. Eating potatoes. Nice. Be a while before I'm peeling away potatoes. Well, maybe. All going well, maybe. Maybe sometime around my birthday in July. Potatoes for my birthday? You shouldn't have. That's what you get an Irish person, whatever. Oh yeah, well I don't have a farm. A farm would be good, alright. It'd be a lot of work though. It's less of a job and more of a vocation, right? There's some potatoes. They're Charlotte. And they're Jim. They're store-bought. These are saved seed. And there's more on the ground over there. Here's what I've been doing. And here's where I've been doing it. Doing the do. And that's where you've been sitting. Back you go. I said, my tush wasn't hurting me sitting on this my bony arse sitting on this wooden crap. Oh, there's a fight. My money's on the big guy. My money's on the trained professionals. Did I not have another milk? Oh my goodness. Yeah, farm's a lot of work though, right? As I said, a vocation rather than a job, a way of life almost. You'd probably be at the busiest time, you'd probably be working every day, at least 6 out of 7. It depends how big it is and if you've got help. When I say help, I mean employees or a family. Big family. Sir, are you sure you want to adopt these 20 orphans? Yes. You put them to work on the farm. Excuse me? Should we bother? Look, I was nearly going to just throw them out, but that'd be shameful. Should I buy the seeds and sow them there? And then just get off it. Look, I've got loads of them, but maybe these are the ones that will actually be the best ones. The rest of them will probably all perish. Let you perish. Sorry. Just to call back there. Poor quality and poor taste. I don't know how I kept talking to mention him in the first place. There you go. If anyone could tell me what the title of this live stream is, because I can't remember. It's Planting Dahlias, Potting on Basil. I don't know. And waffling. And talking shy. Hey, that's okay. You still have somebody to talk to for a little while anyway, which is nice. Thanks, greatness, grateful. With 6 viewers at the moment. Hello, 6 people. How are you doing? 3 likes. Excellent, love it. Hit the like button. It's of no monetary value to me. It's probably not even of any algorithmic value to me. But you make me smile. Which is a rare thing these days. For the aforementioned reasons. If you were listening earlier. But anyway. I have to check the battery. I cannot remember what else I was planning on doing here. But the sun's going down anyway. Along with the temperature. I'm gonna leave some of the tomatoes in their pots out on the beds where I might plant them overnight and see how they get along. As for the cucumbers, currently on the ground out there. I'm certainly not going to leave them there anyway, not on the ground. Um, because we've had unusually high temperatures here in Ireland for the past, well, specifically here in Dublin for the past couple of weeks. It means the sky is clear, and so the nights then are a little bit cooler than they would be. With a little bit of cloud cover, that kind of keeps a lot of the heat in that's been absorbed in the earth during the day. Talking, sorry to be patronising. But yeah, just when it's clear, having cucumbers on the ground like that, even having them sitting out on the bed. They were in little small plastic greenhouses, but they were getting absolutely like steamed and roasted in there. So we'll see how they go sitting out there for the night. If they perish, they perish. It's not the end of the world. As long as I'm still here, and we can always do something else with the cucumbers. I don't want them to go back in undercover necessarily. Because they need to be coming in here, and maybe one or two outside if I have the space. So, Dahlias planted anyway. There's water in here that could be of use. Watering these Basil. I might put them in little trays. That's something I really need, like trays to put pots in to water them from below. They benefit better. There's the cucumbers in question. And that's where they were in there. There's some chilies that are struggling, and more tomatoes. I just have no clue what they are. Which is which. Every year this happens. Last year I was really diligent with my labelling, and somehow I still messed it up. I came home late from work, and I was out here like 9 o'clock at night trying to pot on tomatoes, and I think I messed them up. You can hang out there like that. These tomatoes can go back up here. There's some strawberries. Oh. I was early on they might be eaten by, I don't know, rodents coming in from next door. Maybe that's what they're doing with the wood there. Making giant mouse traps, rat traps. What am I gonna do with these? I want to harden them off a little bit, but at the same time, I don't want them to suffer, Maybe I could turn some of those pots, come on, let's face it, they're buckets, they're mayonnaise buckets. It takes to love, guess who gets better when you put it all together and you grow tomatoes in mayonnaise buckets. With a label from a kitchen, I wonder what my job is. Do you know what my job is? Can you guess that? It's a job where I have access to lots of food tubs. Look, there's Chapman. That's rhubarb. It's the old rhubarb tart I made in one of my last jobs. That's where I got that. We didn't use fresh rhubarb. I know. Shocking, isn't it? The restaurant trade. Oh, shocking. and stuff. I'm gonna leave a couple of these in here. They're all cucumbers anyway, and they're all the same variety. Some mini variety anyway. So I'm not gonna be getting confused. If it's a cucumber, it's just the same cucumber as all the other cucumbers. It's the thing about the tomatoes, as I was saying. I get completely lost. You know, I'm gonna try these up here. They'll probably fare poorly, especially if the temperatures drop. But the ones that have survived, they'll be even stronger, right? No, not necessarily. It's like whatever. Whatever doesn't kill you, it makes you stronger. Like I got hit by a bus and I'm like paralyzed from the neck down. But I'm not dead, so technically I'm stronger. No, I don't think that's how it works. I don't think that's how it works. See water from below with a struggling cabbage there. Two cabbages. They're not struggling that much now anyway. But they can go in there and hide from the sunshine. Some calendulas or something. Some carrots in a box in a container. Because last year the carrots were devoured by the aforementioned rats which came in through there. Do you know what that dead plant is up there? It's the sage over there that I cut back. Because rats apparently don't like sage. And I was attempting to grow chrysanthemums in there. Why? Because rats don't like chrysanthemums. But I tell you what to do, like this. And not just strawberries, but underripe strawberries. And they will also dig up your potatoes. That's what I've learned. Beetroot, though, when it comes to beetroot, rats are like, is that cooked? No? Oh, you can keep it so. Those carrots, though, I'll eat them. I'll eat 90%, 95% of your harvest, of your crop. And the leaves will be still in the ground. You'll be like, oh, the old carrots are looking good. And then you'll go over and tip them and they'll fall over. You'll find that the buggers have dug into the ground and ate them out of the ground. So this year I was particularly hesitant about doing anything. There's a courgette and some pansies and some sunflowers. And the tomatoes I'm leaving over the evening. I may pop it in there. There's volunteer mustards and rockets and scallions and all sorts going up here. There's some baby leeks. Hopefully they won't be affected by the allium leaf miner. There's some lettuce in there too. The cabbages and the feckin' broom and garlic. Drive me mad, there's always something. But there's scapes there though. They can be eaten. So, you know, that's a harvest. Escape is a harvest. The leaves, you're gonna eat green garlic, that's the harvest. Obviously the cloves themselves are a harvest. And yeah. Well, yes, you are. That's right. You have a great ton. All of your plants are very healthy. Well, some of them are healthy, some of them are not so healthy. You know, that's a lot of things coming up are volunteers. I've got radish here, we should be like ready to crop now, but as you can see, they're nowhere near. Some of them are doing a little bit better there. But yeah, a lot of these are volunteers. There's a volunteer coriander, there's a bunch of volunteer spring onions that came up. This was multi-sown beetroot, and between them, a lot of scallions just come right up in the middle of them. There's a courgette there and a courgette there. I always put more than one courgette in this bed, and the sun goes around that way and then goes down, as you can see, going down now. And they follow and they end up trailing sort of out. So this one ideally should have been over here. But I sowed the multi-sown beetroot first. There's a card. most prominent of all. There's more than there is all. I'm just praying that they don't attract fucking rodents. That's why I say slugs and snails and aphids. So, I don't think so. So negatively with them now after experiencing rodents. There's nothing worse, in my opinion. They'll need to be earthed up, exposed there as well. We'll just do a little bit on the fly anyway. Look at that. It's an old scallion. It's a red baron, I believe. It's the name of that one. Red Dead. And no redemption. For you, pal. Oh, what have you got here? Oh my goodness, what is that? Live fucking sharks here. Actually, like, really reticent to even get closer to them. I thought it was fungus for a second, but not so sure. Anybody know what that is? It's the brassica graveyard. Last year's kale and purple sprout and broccoli. But the bees are still enjoying it, so that's why I leave it there. Eventually I'll bait it all and put it in the compost bin. As soon as there's room enough. Just still technically, like, you can eat all those leaves of the broccoli, but you kind of just get sick of it after a while. And they're still edible, those tiny little shoots. They get smaller each successive harvest, I find. Then I stopped feeding them so much and just let them get the flower. But back to this mystery here. Some sort of seed, is it? It's like something that's been placed there. You know what I'm thinking again? Naturally. They're living rent free in my brain. Living rent free in that next door neighbour's garden. We'll go in poking first. What the hell are they? They're like fucking peanuts or something. Oh shit. There's somebody in them. I just. We're jumping to conclusions here. Now, I don't know about you, but I know for a fact that rodents. That's not what that is. Am I losing my mind here? Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my goodness. No, they look like peanuts or something. Right? The rodents weren't taking out my potatoes last year. I don't eat peanuts. I don't have any bird feeders. And these were buried a little bit in the center where I keep, mound up the soil to earth these up as they grow. You saw this, I just thought, I'm kind of wondering, naturally, is there somebody up to no good or what? You know what I mean? I don't know. rodents love nuts, particularly peanuts, peanut butter. They also like potatoes. They were stealing, they stole about 8 potatoes. You see, I've got little bits of wood there. Last year I had like 5 or 6 little bits of wood in the corner. And I was like, oh, I better move them. And I moved them and out rolled about 5 potatoes. They were coming, taking them out of here, and then like storing them in the corner under a piece of wood. And now this year is worrying. I don't know if this is a sign that they're like coming in and keeping their stuff here. This is their like hanging out patch. Or, oh, they closed their window. I mean, the neighbors definitely saw some coming in here. I was sitting over there one day, and a rodent just came on down. So these anyway started wandering around. I was just sitting there looking at it. I was like, excuse me, I'm here. I'm a human being. What are you doing? It came right down, went around here, and I was like, I've had enough of this. Came over and started chasing it with a spade. With this, I chased it. And I went through that fence and into the neighbour's garden, and then a magpie flew down and caught it and ate it. And a video of a pretty poor video of the magpie munching the mouse or a rat, small rat, whatever it was, up on that roof. But this is very disturbing, I have to say. Very disturbing indeed. Wouldn't you say so? You're very paranoid about my neighbours here. But like what? Peanuts literally buried in the middle of the... I'll do a bit more earthing up and I'll see what else I unearth. But for look, from last year, you want to see one of the ones I caught over there. It was an absolute monster. I think that was the one doing most of the damage. They fall out the bottom of that. Rats are just shocking. Give me aphids, slugs, snails, cabbage white butterflies. Fucking, you name it, any day of the week over fucking rats. Not only can be devastating, but they're also incredibly clever. So you can start doing things to try and prevent them or whatever, but they'll find ways around that, just they'll learn very quickly. It's admirable in a way, but also look, there's a bit of bread as well. That's obviously fallen from birds flying over. I wish people wouldn't feed bread to birds, especially seagulls. Oh my god. It's like, yeah, let's fuck up their digestion system and undernourish them. I'm sure that won't make them really angry and agitated and attacking people for their ice cream, little kids. We better continue hurting up here and see. This wasn't. I know hurting up potatoes wasn't on the title anyway. But here I am. Sorry. Here I am. I don't have any fucking peanuts yet. Peanuts? Like what? I'll leave the peanuts here and I'll come back, grab peanuts and some potatoes. Hold up. some margarine and mint. Shielded from the sun today, they were struggling, so I gave them a good warm. Yeah, okay compared to what it was on its last legs. They're hanging up on the gate there. Why did I have mint hanging up on that particular day? Why is there an absolute ton of mint growing there? And sage. These are enemies, the rodents. Peas. What's that? Just as an initial, like pea stick. It's actually an old piece of sage. I'm gonna plan to put them back up on the gate. I'm gonna put them into bigger containers. Any more peanuts? There was I thought I was earthing up potatoes, but I'm actually unearthing peanuts. Earthing them with my hand, as it turns out, just on the fly. I was like, no, take it to do it a bit of no. That's how I garden, basically. I'm like, oh Jesus, look at that. I better do that now. Soil's looking good, isn't it? Wouldn't you say? Hang on. Oh my god. I'd like to do a horizontal stream, but when you're setting up the streams, it gives you the option of doing it. But then when you're actually live and you try and put your phone horizontally, it says no. It actually says that. This is YouTube here. No. Okay. False start. Well, I guess don't shut my stream down. It's getting late now, and I'm so pale that the little evening flies are making an evening meal out of me. Disturbing this soil here is probably disturbing them as well. I'm trying to sleep here, pal. Everybody, what are you doing? That'll do. Initially, anyway. I'm gonna get a spade in there and do a proper job, and then I might need to use some potting and stuff. I'm certainly gonna enrich it a bit with some manure. You know, I'm gonna maybe give the leaves a spray of seaweed fertilizer or something to absorb, and also fertilize the actual soil itself with organic, like tomato fertilizer type stuff. These are roots from old scallions and stuff, and I've thrown them in obviously around the potatoes as extra earthen up material, and as I said, the rodents were coming in digging up the potatoes, so there's sort of method in the, I was going to say madness, it's not so mad, is it? But trying to grow potatoes with chunks of wood is probably a bit mad. There's a scallion or something like that. Going to flower. Something quite chunky in it. But I kind of this gets a lot of water from what's up yonder. So we've got a mix of weeds and pansies and scallions. And this is where the rodents made their run, coming in from up there, down and along here. So I'm not like all too enamored by this spot anyway, between it being soaking wet and potential rodent run. So, but anyway, wasn't I moving cucumbers about the place? Then I just started earthing up potatoes like a madman. And he's a madman. There's another one, there's the last one there. So I got like 2 or 3 chilling out there, see how they survived the evening or not. A couple of courgettes up there too. It's really starting to like, oh, there's also a crane fly. I don't know if he goes, or she, or they, whatever you're having yourself there. Non-binary crane fly, huh? What? Yeah, what? Little tendrils. Raring to go. They're always raring to go in the beginning. Then I plant them on in their final spot, and they're like, "Yeah, heck you." But I thought we were getting along quite well. They're like, "I don't love you anymore." That's the story of my life. Privates popping up all over the shop. Oh, look. That's a message to all the other slugs. Like Vlad the Impaler here. But, you know, but drowning slugs instead of putting people on spikes. Corpses. Lovely chai flowers. Peas. Lettuce. I mean, I should have lettuce by now, you know. Should have lettuce and radish and scallions galore. But, I don't. Oh, this other dahlia. Random strawberry. That was a runner that I took off one of the main plants down there. That one's struggling too, but yeah, whatever. They're all over the place at this stage. There's some volunteers growing down there as well near the original parent plants. I was really know if it came from maybe a fallen tomato in the seeds possibly. Because it was too far and I don't remember ever cutting a run off. Maybe I did though. I don't know. As you see the way I garden is very nonchalant, so I could be doing things I don't remember and whatever. There's a fellow coming up random. Another volunteer. See ya? And then next to that, a dill. And then next to that, some sort of weed. Some sort of euphorbia or something. There's more weed. And this is what I was talking about, just leaving little piles of weeds around the place. Just the leaves. There's a little bit of root there, arguably, but not like the wood lice and the slugs, and I'll be kind of concerned with that, especially if they're all mashed up. Like, there's method to my madness. People just think well, it is a mix between laziness and sort of methodology. I'm not out here to kill myself. You know what I mean? There's enough things doing that already. Or attempting to anyway.